Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you've probably already seen by the title, in today's video I'm going to be testing out a full face of VIEVE makeup. If you've clicked on this video then you probably already know that VIEVE is the makeup brand created by YouTuber and makeup artist Jamie Genevieve. So I tried out quite a few of her products in this video and this is the final result. So if you want to see how I did this and how they performed and what I think of the products, then please keep watching. Okay, so I just want to start off by saying that all of this cost me about £140. So VIEVE is not a low-end drugstore type of price range, it's definitely more high-end, and I got all this for that price even with a 20% discount on some of the stuff. So yeah, definitely more mid to high-end. And yeah, she created this brand a couple of years ago now, I want to say. I haven't tried any of it yet, so I'm really excited to get stuck in and see how this stuff performs. So first off, I am starting with a fresh face. I've only put moisturizer on, completely bare other than that, and I'm starting with this little sample of the VIEVE Skin Nova. This is an instant radiance primer and I was really happy to receive a little sample of this so I didn't actually have to splurge on the full size of this as well as the other stuff, but obviously if I love it then maybe I will. So it says directions for use: apply to bare skin for an instant effortless glow, use as a primer under makeup for a hydrated long-lasting complexion. Oh, and I forgot to say that all of the VIEVE products are vegan and cruelty-free, which is amazing because I only use cruelty-free products where I can. Hopefully there'll be enough in here to, it says 1 ml, but hopefully that'll be enough for my entire face. I mean, you'd think that they would put enough in for you to put on your face for at least one whole go. This is gonna be messy. Okay, so I think I've squeezed out what I can onto the back of my hand and my fingers in a bit of a mess, but this is what it's looking like on the back of my hand. An interesting orangey glowy sort of cream consistency. So yeah, I guess just start applying it to my face. It doesn't really smell of anything. Maybe it has the slightest, like faintest scent of something floral. I think maybe it said rose on the packaging somewhere. Some of the ingredients are to do with like citrus peels and flower oils, so yeah, there's a faint sort of floral scent which is not overpowering at all. It's actually quite nice. So yeah, that's sinking into the skin and definitely feels like it's being absorbed and not sort of sitting on top. I think I've used all of that on my hand now. I didn't really have enough to go down my neck as well, but that was how much was in the sachet. This is how my skin is looking now. It has the Skin Nova on it, which is hopefully, as it says, an instant radiance sort of look. So yeah, this is what it's looking like. Here's a little close-up. I think it's definitely made it look more fresh and dewy and hydrated, a bit more like plump looking, I guess. So yeah, I'd say that's pretty nice. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I think it did what it said on the packaging, but we'll see how it looks under my foundation as well. I'm just going to go ahead and apply some Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation and then we'll move on to the next VIEVE product. Just going to quickly fill in my brows with this MUA Micro Precision Eyebrow Pencil. So now I'm going to try the concealer. This is the VIEVE Modern Radiance Concealer. Can I just say, all the black packaging with the gold foiling on is just so luxe looking and really, really nice. So this concealer says it's infused with hyaluronic acid. The hydrating concealer brightens and colour corrects for a naturally perfected radiant finish, and blend out with a brush or fingers for a flawless finish. Customise your coverage by building as desired. So I was going to use my sponge to blend this out, but I think I'll probably just use my fingers, or maybe I'll try fingers one side and sponge the other side. So I got the shade Light 3. Let's crack it open and see what the packaging. Oh, it's so pretty. That is just beautiful packaging. I just love the square shape of it as well, and it feels really weighty and premium. I've already got my fingerprints all over that, but there's a little close up. Oh, that's a satisfying noise. That's a pretty good sized doe foot, I'd say. So I'm just gonna dab some under my eyes. Quite a thick feeling consistency so far. I'm just going to put some on my spot. This was not actually the shade that I originally wanted to get. I wanted to get a lighter one, but they were out of stock, so I think I wanted to get like the one below the lightest shade or the lightest shade, but they weren't in stock, so I went for this one. So hopefully it doesn't look too dark. So far it's looking quite warm toned, maybe more yellowy than I'd go for, but we'll see. So let's try blending this with my fingers. That actually blends out quite nicely with your fingertips. I think the warmth of your fingers sort of helps to melt it into the skin. Just going to take it onto the top of my eyelid as well. Yeah, that feels quite surprisingly nice, blending it out with your fingers actually. Like it feels, I don't know, like it just melts straight into the skin. That's the only way I can sort of describe it. Like it's sort of setting, I'd say. Oh, I just realised that I said I was going to blend one side with my sponge, didn't I? I forgot. Just going to blend this little spot. To be fair, I think this colour actually matches the colour of my foundation quite nicely, like if you're spot concealing and stuff rather than brightening. Yeah, I think that's definitely a very radiant concealer. I would agree with the dewiness of it. Like it does give a brightness in terms of, like it's not a matte concealer, it's definitely more on the hydrating side. So yeah, it feels really comfortable, it doesn't feel drying under the eyes. I wouldn't say it's like a full coverage concealer, but it does say it's buildable, so maybe I'll try and build it up a bit more and see if it gives more coverage. Yeah, I would say that it's added a bit more coverage than before. I wouldn't say it's maybe full coverage now. I don't know, it's pretty good though. Like, I think it's definitely hidden a lot of the darkness of my dark circles. I mean, my dark circles are so intense, it's never gonna hide them completely, but it's done a pretty good job. Yeah, I would say I'm pretty happy with that actually and how it's looking. I think it's done a really decent job of concealing my under eyes. And I guess that's partially because I did use my finger to blend it out. Like if I'd used my sponge, it probably would have soaked up some of the product. Now I think to set my face, I'm going to go for the VIEVE Modern Powder Perfector. I'm really excited to see how this mattifies, but hopefully without looking crusty and dusty and bringing down some of the shine, but keeping my skin looking healthy and a bit radiant. I don't know, we'll see. This says it's infused with hyaluronic acid as well. The complexion enhancing powder smooths and blurs for a natural for a natural perfected finish. This is again in that gorgeous black and gold packaging, and I got this in the shade Light. Open it up. Oh no, I hope it's not broken. It's looking a bit dusty. Oh no, it's broken. I'm so sad. Oh, I'm really gutted about that. It was probably my fault. I got it out the box and dropped it. I'm so gutted. People fix powders by crushing it up and using a bit of alcohol to press it back down, so maybe I can try that. I'm just gonna use it as it is for this video anyway. I'm so gutted. The packaging of the actual compact, even though it's covered in powder, is still beautiful. Hopefully you can see. So I'm just going to take some of this on. This is the Stila 24A. I'm just going to carefully pick up some on the brush, cut out any creases that I have, and just go completely over my eye because that's what I tend to do. Hopefully I'm not picking up too much because it's broken and therefore more powdery than it would be if it was pressed. Putting some on my forehead too. And then I want to keep my high points and cheeks sort of dewy looking, so I'm just going to go around this sort of section. So yeah, I'd say that powder has definitely helped to set down those really glowy looking areas, but overall I would say there's still some radiance coming through. It's definitely mattified those areas but without looking really dusty and sort of powdery. This is a little close up of my eyes. I wouldn't say they're looking the smoothest and like blurred to perfection. I think there's still some texture there because my skin isn't perfect. It's got that sort of bobbly texture, and I've definitely had dryness around my eyes in the past couple of months, so I wouldn't say that the powder's done miracles and magical wonders, but it's done the job. I think I'm just going to go back over this spot with a bit more concealer to try and hide it a bit more because it's really bugging me. So it's not budging, so that's the best we're gonna get. Anyway, I'm just gonna try and ignore it. Next step is this VIEVE Dimension face palette. I decided to get this because it has some blush and bronzer and highlighter inside, I think. So I thought it all came in this handy sort of quad. It's the same formulation, I believe, of her individual blushes and the bronzer. But yeah, I thought I would give this a go. And I got the shade Dusk, which I think is the darker out of the two shades, but again, the lighter one was out of stock. So hopefully it's not too dark for me, but I'll just use a light hand. And fingers crossed this isn't broken at all. The packaging is so sleek and beautiful. I'm in love. You see it online, but then in person it's just another level. Thank God it's not broken. That looks really pretty. I'm so excited to try that. And even the mirror's got a little V in the corner. It's just the attention to detail is just so amazing. Got a little sticker on the mirror, so I'm gonna peel that off. You got the blush on the top right, then you've got another blush on the bottom left and the bronzer on the bottom right. That blush on the bottom does look quite dark, but it is a really pretty colour. I think this is definitely intended for darker skin tones, but like I said, sadly the light one was out of stock, and I just thought maybe it'd be nice for summer when I have a bit more colour on my skin. I thought I could also use a light hand and hopefully it would still work. So let's first try the bronzer. Ooh, that's quite pigmented. I mean, I didn't set this part of my face, so this is going to be interesting to see if that was a mistake or not. It's blending out actually, I think. Just gonna pat it because I think that will be a better sort of motion so that not to disturb my products underneath. That's really pretty actually, I think. Bring it up onto my temple. I think I dipped in a little bit hard at the beginning, but yeah, I think that's got a really nice amount of pigment to work with. It's blendable and it's workable, so I'm really liking it actually. I'm really glad that the colour's working for me because, like I said, it was the darker option. Bring it around my hairline, which is what I tend to do with my normal bronzers, just to sort of warm up my face a little bit more, and then it makes my hair go crazy. So now I am very bronzed, but I think that's really, really pretty. I think it's a beautiful colour. It blended really nicely. It's definitely pigmented. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Now to try a blush, I think I'm going to go for this Top Baby Pink colour because it looks really cute. Hopefully it shows up. I'm just going to go in with the same brush for that. Dab a bit in there, pat it onto my cheek. Oh, I think that's showing up. That's such a pretty colour. Oh, that's so cute. How pretty is that? I love it. Let's go a bit ham and bring it sort of up to blend in with the bronzer. I really hope that's coming across on camera because in my mirror it looks so pretty. Definitely complements the bronzer really, really nicely. Just going to go in on the other side. Excess on my chin, and I think I might put the tiniest amount on my nose. That looks so cute! I'm in love with this blush and bronzer so far. I think that looks stunning. Just blended like a dream. So easy to work with. Pigmented, shows up really nicely. Not overly pigmented though. Okay, so now I'm going to try a bit of this highlighter on this little Ruby and Millie face brush. Take a little bit of that on the tip of the brush and pat it onto my cheekbone. It's quite a dark looking highlighter, so I'm not sure this will work for me, but we'll see. Ooh, that's really pretty. I think it's a bit darker than I would have liked, but obviously this is a darker face palette. I think it's not the most blinding highlighter ever, but really complements the blush and bronzer, I think, because it's definitely that more golden toned, just a shimmer of highlight. Yeah, I don't know if I love the highlighter as much as I do the blush and the bronzer. Like I said, it doesn't pop like maybe I was expecting it to, but yeah, it's nice. I just think I prefer the blush and the bronzer. I think I'm just going to go back over a bit with some of the blush because I don't want the highlighter to have taken away from that because it was such a pretty colour. Okay, that's a bit better, I think. So moving on to the Skin Dew. I think this is another really popular product. I think one of her best sellers. A universal multitasker for glossy skin. Tap Skin Dew anywhere you desire a radiant glow. Wear alone to keep it dewy, or for intensely highlighted skin, use as a base under Nova Glow highlighter. Oh, so I've already applied the highlighter. That's my bad, but I will probably just try and put it a little bit over the top and hopefully it doesn't mess it all up. So this is in a white packaging this time, and this is the tube that it comes in. I think what I'm going to do with this is just dab a tiny bit onto my cheeks with my finger and see how that looks. Not sure how much is enough or too much. And then just dab it onto my cheek like this. Maybe that's enough for the other side as well. And then just sort of blend it in with my finger. Oh wow, that is glowy. That's so, wow. Wow, wow. That is intense. That's so pretty. That is just the most gorgeous sort of golden shimmery glow. It just almost looks a bit wet looking. I was worried it was going to mess up the powder products underneath, but I think it's just blended straight in. I can see why this is a popular product now. I think I'm going to take a tiny bit more for the other side. That might be a bit much. Just pat, 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 and blend, blend. And then I think I might use the excess left over on my finger on my nose, just like this, between my brows. Wow, that is just so pretty. Yeah, I can see why people love this. It just adds like a wet look, but glowy and golden, and just looks sun-kissed and brings back that like healthy sort of dewy look to the skin whilst having these powder products on as well. That's stunning. I love it. I hope you can see that. I think it would be beautiful in the summer or on holiday to just add to that golden sun-kissed tan sort of, oh, it's just beautiful. Here's a little close-up. You know, I was a bit skeptical. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like that product, but from the way that it just melts into the skin, so easy to use, I feel like that's just foolproof, like anyone could use that. And I think it would even look nice blended in with a sponge. And I think I actually way prefer that to the powder highlighter, but that's just my personal preference. I don't know. I think it's just more effective overall. It has that dewy, radiant look. I think the highlighter just gave more of like a subtle shimmer, but this is just really like that pop that I was looking for, I think. 10 out of 10. I'm obsessed with this base so far. I'm just loving these products, and I'm glad because they're expensive. so far worth the money, I think. On to eyes now. I didn't actually pick up an eyeshadow palette because my basket was already breaking the bank, but I picked up the black Power Ink liner, a smooth flowing, flexible liquid eyeliner for powerfully precise definition, long lasting and smudge proof. Now I'm a little bit nervous because I haven't done a liquid liner in a long time. To be honest, mostly I'm in a rush and I just whack on some mascara, but if I do have time to do a wing, then I tend to use a little angled brush and I create a soft sort of powder wing. I feel like it's easier to do, but hopefully this will make things easy, so wish me luck. Beautiful gold packaging once again. Oh, I'm a bit scared, but let's see what the nib looks like. Maybe I'll shake it up first. Or maybe it's a pull, not a screw. I'm not sure how to open this. How do you open you? Oh, is it a pull? Oh, I don't know. Oh, it's a pull, not a screw. That is an amazingly fine nib. Can you see how fine and precise that looks? That's giving me a bit of hope. So give me a second while I concentrate on this. That's really black so far, which I really like. Oh my god, this is just getting longer and longer. I'm really messing this up. I mean, it's a lovely black liner, I'm just crap at doing this. It was going to be a small wing and now it's turned into a massive one. Not gonna lie, I think some of the product is mixing with my foundation or concealer, probably the concealer actually, so I think it is washing it out a little bit and it's going a bit less black. It's probably just a case of going back over it, but just thought I'd mention that, but maybe it's because I didn't powder enough. Also, I think I brought the Skin Nova up to around my eyes, so it's probably not helping having that sort of dewy product there. Okay, I'm back. Not gonna lie, I really did struggle with that actually. I think it's mainly because I haven't done liquid liner in a long time, so that's not the fault of the product. I think it was actually a really nice fine nib. I just have really shaky hands. There was a little bit of difficulty with this eye though, in terms of there was a point where I was going over the liner and it sort of felt like every time I went over it, it kind of took a bit more off, and then I'd go over it and it would cover it up but then take a different part of it off, and I was struggling to really get that black sort of line without any patches of concealer poking through. This eye was fine in terms of that problem. Yeah, just wanted to mention that, but like I said, I brought that skin nova up and around my eyes, so maybe it wasn't like a super matte base underneath. So I just went away and did my mascara quickly. I just put it on the top lashes because that's the kind of look that I'm going for. So my camera cut out, but I was saying that it is a lovely black, like really black liner though, and I think it does look really nice even if I did have a little bit of trouble with this eye in particular. But interestingly, I do have some liner on the back of my hand and I was just rubbing it like this, and as you can see it has smeared, so maybe it wasn't either quite dry or I do have like residual product on my fingers and I was, you know, really rubbing it like this, but obviously you wouldn't be doing that with your eyes, so hopefully it's still smudge and smear proof when it's on the eyes. So lastly is lips. I do have the lipstick and the lip dew here to try, but I'm just going to line my lips first with one of my own lip liners because I didn't pick up a VIEVE one, but I think I have one that will match quite nicely. So I'm just going to use this tiny little one, which is a peaches and cream one. It's just a pinky nude colour, so I think it will probably work for the lipstick. So there we go, those are roughly lined and a little bit overlined. I love those lip liners, by the way. Get the multi-pack of nude ones if they still have them on their site. So this is the VIEVE well obviously it's VIEVE. This is the Modern Matte lipstick in this gorgeous leopard design packaging, and I think this is a limited edition version, so the actual packaging inside is leopard print as well. I just love that little graphic on the outside. That's actually stunning. When I saw it on the website, I wasn't too sure about the leopard print, but actually in person it's really, really nice, and it's like a raised print all over, so it feels really nice and looks beautiful. And it's got the V embossed on the end there. So I actually got the shade Brat, which is this sort of warm nude colour, and as you can see it's got VIEVE embossed on the actual lipstick bullet as well, and I think this is again one of her better sellers, or at least it was one of the original colours of the lipstick. And the cartridge itself feels pretty heavy and luxurious. I think that matches the lip liner pretty well actually. I think if anything it's just a bit darker, but that's really creamy feeling. Definitely very matte. Well actually I'd say maybe more of a satin finish, but comfortable on the lips, doesn't feel drying or anything, and that's a really nice shade actually, really wearable. I think very everyday, but you could definitely sort of dress it up with like a more glam look. I'd say it's got quite a faint sweet smell. I don't know if I'm imagining that, but I think it does. Yeah, it's got like a vanilla-y sort of smell. That is really, really lovely. I will definitely be using that a lot, I think. Oh, and the case is magnetic. I didn't realise. That's just going to be so nice to have in your handbag, and people are going to be like, oh, that's a fancy lipstick. Okay, so last up is the Lip Dew. So this is a glossy lip oil, and I've been really dying to try this one because I've seen a lot of people using it and saying how good it is. It says use alone for a hit of hydration or transform your favourite modern matte lipstick. So I've obviously got on the modern matte lipstick, so it says you can use this on top of that. It just says Lip Dew on the top, so I'm not sure if this shade has a name, but it's just this really like light nude colour. Obviously you can see all the reflective sort of particles in there, so I think it's going to make for a really nice sparkly glossy lip topper, and hopefully really hydrating as well because it is a lip oil as it says. This is the doe foot. It's got this round sort of banana-like shape I'd say, but it's wider at the top than it is at the bottom. Oh, that smells really lovely. It's like this really sweet vanilla-y smell, so let's give it a go. Oh, I've ruined the doe foot, but I knew that was going to happen. That is really, really pretty. Do you know what? It almost feels a tiny bit grainy. it could well be the dryness on my lips, but I feel like there is a very slight sort of graininess to it, but that's kind of to be expected with all the glittery particles in there. So yeah, I think that looks really, really pretty, and it's not even sticky. Like, my lips aren't sticking together at all, it's not stringy, just really easy to wear, and I think that will probably be my new go-to lip topper, or just to wear on its own. But yeah, I really like that. So that's everything, and that is my full face of VIEVE makeup, and I think there were definitely loads of successes in there and some products that I really, really liked, and if I had to choose my favourites, I would probably go for the Skin Dew, which just gave such a gorgeous glow. I would also choose the Quad, so the two blushes, the bronzer and the highlighter, mainly because of how much I loved the bronzer and the blush. The concealer actually turned out really nice, and the lipstick and lip dew were really beautiful as well. But yeah, if I had to choose my absolute favourites, it would be the Skin Dew and that face palette as well. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this really helpful. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up down below and leave me a comment letting me know what you'd like to see next time. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below as well. Head to my channel if you want to see what other types of videos I do. But hopefully I will see you in my next one. Bye!